Happy holidays, everybody, and welcome to Xbox A. One of your hosts, Matt, joining me as always, the Dark Knight of Xbox himself, Court. Happy Monday to you, sir. Happy Halo
Yes,
week.
happy Halo Day, I guess, because like the whole world is talking about Halo, throwing daggers at each other. I love the people who haven't played the game trashing it already. Those are the fun ones.
Those are the great ones, aren't they? People just leaking stuff left and right, like they just
Yes, there
people
are some
people that are full out
people
breaking
breaking
embargoes.
some, yeah, big time today.
If you
But
guys haven't seen yet, actually, but we did our full, actually spoiler-free review with Steve Vigvari. He was guest on the show. It was awesome. We had a great time, and we talked all about the campaign itself. And yeah, go check that episode out. It's just dropped today too. But we're not here to
and
talk about Halo. But Court, go.
we can all play that game on Wednesday on Game Pass.
Oh, we're
But
going to.
we're here to talk about a little company called Sony and their answer to Game Pass.
Yeah, and okay, so this is Xbox A. It's a Xbox branded show, hence the leaf and the green. But we did talk about this for actually a few days because this news came out on Friday that Sony is planning to create and roll out their own service,
In the
like
fall.
Game Pass. And we were kind of like having a back and forth about this, right? Because we weren't sure, do we do this because we're an Xbox show? Should we bother talking about PlayStation? But I think it's worth talking about because it's creating the competition, right? And what we feel and what the community feels about Sony doing it, what the model could look like, and maybe even what Xbox could ultimately learn
And
from.
competition, all it does is breed excellence. Like there's innovation comes from competition. And what will the new Game Pass look like with this innovation?
So let's find out. This article is coming over from Bloomberg. It goes like this. Sony Group Corp PlayStation division is planning a new subscription service to compete with the rival Microsoft Corp popular Xbox Game Pass, according to people familiar with Sony's plans and documents reviewed by Bloomberg. The service, codenamed Spoticus, will allow PlayStation owners to pay a monthly fee for access to a catalog of modern and classic games, said the people who asked not to be identified because they weren't authorized to speak to the press about the plans. The offering is likely to be available on the smash hit PlayStation 4, which has sold more than 616 million units, and its elusive successor, the PS5, which launched more than a year ago but is still difficult to buy due to the supply chains. So when it launches, expected in the spring, so of 2022, the service will merge Sony's two existing subscription plans, the PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now, which is the streaming service of the previous games. The currently PlayStation Plus is required for most online multiplayer games and offers free monthly titles, while PlayStation Now allows users to stream or download the older games. The documents reviewed by Bloomberg suggests that Sony plans to retain the PlayStation Plus branding, but phase out the PlayStation Now. So, Court, PlayStation Now, PlayStation Plus become one. Something that
Makes
Xbox
sense.
should have done with Games with Gold.
Yeah. Just put a Games Go out the pasture, just call it Game Pass Ultimate and just walk away from it.
So what do you think that they will do? First thing is, what do you think that Sony will actually roll out to us? What would you hypothesize as a price point? What do you think the service would just look like?
So I have a subscription to PlayStation Now. I don't use it as much as I used to. And I did use it when I first got it, but my biggest issue that I'll have, regardless of what they do, is you won't be able to download PS3 games like you can with Xbox 360 games.
Yep.
That will never happen unless they figure out the magic juju beans to make this happen because of the architecture they did with the PS3 when they created this console.
Mm-hmm.
So you're no matter what, those games will be having to be played in the cloud. And as someone that's played some of the Xbox games in the cloud and played the PlayStation games in the cloud ain't ready yet. So yes, they will have all their back catalog, Infamous, all these fantastic titles. And I will say, unbelievable titles.
Yep.
You're still going to have that problem that if they're talking about this tier system that they're speaking of, I want to see more because to me, it's like, okay, is tier one, you're just getting PlayStation Plus and what PlayStation Now has? They're mentioning PlayStation 1 games and PlayStation 2 games. They're mentioning the whole catalog. But how does that look? Are they going to do what Xbox did with the Enhance? Are they going to be doing the Auto HDR? Are these only going to be able to be played in the cloud? Are you going to be able to download these games? There's a lot of things that haven't been answered.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
No,
continue.
just on that point, go back to again, but the auto HDR, the enhancements, that's something that Xbox has championed and I think done a very great job of giving us enhanced titles from the back catalog, and something that Sony has not been able to do thus far on a consistent basis, where a lot of their downloading and updating of PS4 titles onto your PS5 is cumbersome or not available. And
Or cost $10.
cost $10. And if they're going to do a back catalog or, a Game Pass, a Spartacus system, I would be concerned that great, I could play the Infamous collection. Amazing. However, I'm not getting any type of enhancements for
But
this.
not even that. You'd have to play it via the cloud.
And it's on the
Like,
cloud.
But I want to preface in
Yeah.
saying I will 100% probably purchasing this.
Mhm.
Price point, I'm more confused than ever. Are they just going to give the same prices, compete with Game Pass to start, and do the same pricing model? I don't know if Sony can afford to do that. Are they going to do day and date? It sounds like from the pundits around, everybody speaking about this, there is no day and date of their big hit titles. So you're still going to get, my guess, this is just my guess, the PlayStation Plus collection gets rolled into it. A game like Spider-Man that'll be like their, when this drops, to be like,
Greatest
you can
hits
play
collection.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
right away.
Here's
But one
Miles,
thing
here's PS5 Spider-Man.
Well, but they haven't mentioned PS5. I don't think this is successful unless there's PS5 in there.
there's no
It's
catalog,
not a direct,
but there's no
there's
catalog. There's no
but
first
it doesn't
party
matter.
catalog for PS5.
You can still put Miles in there. You can put the Ghost of Tsushima PS5. You've
Last
got to
of Us,
have,
yeah.
if you're putting in any Avengers game or any of these type of games that you can get in Game Pass right now, you're going to need this gen versions of those games. So if those games that are in that catalog have a this gen version, you're going to need, you don't have smart delivery, so you're going to have the newest version. You're going to have to give a person the option that if there's a PS3 version, PS4, or PS5 version, they need to be able to download the latest version. Otherwise, I don't think it's a direct compare. It's almost impossible because Xbox already has that upper hand of it's day and date first party titles. You get the better version of the game, except in one case, there is a game on Game Pass, which is Control. You don't get the Ultimate Edition.
That's what I would worry
But
about. You're not going to get those ultimate.
no, but if they don't have that, I still see 100% everybody, all the same, people are going to buy it, but it won't be a direct competitor, and Game Pass will still be the better service.
I think so too. And guys, this is not us to just say because we are an Xbox show that like, oh, we totally just think no matter what, Game Pass is going to totally win it out. Sony could do something incredible and change the landscape. I just don't think that financially they have the backing like a Microsoft does. They don't have the infrastructure there to make those types of gigantic moves. They
take a loss as it is.
Yeah,
take
take a huge loss. Where PlayStation Plus right now probably costs you annually what, $70 to $100, depends on the price for the year. You're gonna roll in the greatest hits collection. You're gonna roll in PlayStation
now.
Like,
so what are you going to do? You're going to add $30 on for the year?
Yeah,
$40 on the year? Make it 160 for the year. 160 for the year. You get PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Now, and if you want the lower version of it, you're only getting PlayStation Now. You know what I mean? Like, there's your tiers.
$99 gives you, like, they have to keep it so simple, but I just don't feel, because you lose the entire, theoretically, you lose the PlayStation 3 catalog. I don't think it's enough for people to go
But you
back.
don't lose it. Like, people are going to tell you right now that you're not losing it. You can play those right now. But as someone that has tried playing them on PlayStation Now and has good internet,
and they don't have the cloud structure like Microsoft does, and they don't.
But they are using, what happened if this is on that cloud structure? Because if you remember, they did make a deal.
Oh, they have
what
Gaikai.
If this is for that? Yes, but they did make a deal with Microsoft to use their cloud service. So what happened if they are using it? You're still going to get the latency. Because even Xbox's cloud service right now isn't perfect. It's a tough one. Like, I think this means we need way more information. Like, there's not enough information. All we're being is told, stating the obvious that everybody else saw coming, even though like Jim Ryan and many Sony people were like, we're not doing this, and everybody else in the gaming sphere was like, yeah, you are. Like, come on, how do you not? And with Xbox killing it this year, let's be real, killing it, and on the back of Game Pass, they had no choice.
Do you think that the last thing I want to talk to you about is, and you mentioned this earlier, is like the first party titles and the PlayStation exclusives? not coming to that service. I don't see that either. I see Sony continuing beating the drum of like AAA blockbuster, mega exclusive God of War titles that are on their own and eventually, maybe a year or two after, go to PC. That's it. And 5 years down the line, come to the service. Do you think that they continue that model if they do roll something out where it's like basically greatest hits collection, you can stream it / download it, but our big heavy hitter current titles, they're not going to be rolled into the subscription? And does that hurt them?
It does if they're not day and date, but I could see Sony doing in a year from now, because then you're still going to get the people to buy it, right? So
Yep.
that okay, like we give examples of Microsoft does day and date. Disney Plus, which is a streaming service, does 60 days, right? PlayStation could be like, okay, 6 months or a year, and you're going to get that game. It will come to the service, but if you want to play it day and date, you're going to have to buy it. And that way, they're still going to get all these people that double dip, right? But that also has me saying, okay, every time Sony brings out a title, they do an Ultimate Edition eventually. So let that Ultimate Edition drop on the service.
True.
So that when it's fully done with all the DLC and everything is done and that game has done its development cycle, then you put it on the service. That sounds like something Sony would do. But hey, if they drop day and date, I'll say this right, if Sony drops day and date Gods of War, all these games, Xbox has got a problem.
Yep.
Because that's huge.
Yep. And
Sony has bigger first-person titles. Currently, Xbox has had a phenomenal year. But if they drop the God of Wars, the Horizons, the Wolverine, the Spider-Man day and date, you're going to push a lot of people on that needle, and they're going to go the other way.
I totally agree with you. And
then Xbox is going to have to buy everybody.
Yeah, just to compete with this and put out almost like we need 5, I say smaller or just slightly smaller tiered titles you need 5 of those to try to compete with a God of War, which is on its own level. But I agree with you. Like, how are you going to, if you roll a game like Wolverine launching with the platform day and date, how do you compete with that when you could get people to say, let's just say it's $100 for the subscription service. And let's say I could get Wolverine day and date on the platform. I'd just be like, yeah, here's my money because I get the brand new game. I'd buy it anyways. Go. It's just like what happens with Game Pass for us right now. But that would totally shift everything. I could see Sony also doing, I mean, it's just speculating here, but I could see them also doing like the next Spider-Man comes out. It's also on the streaming service or like on the PlayStation Plus service. So if you get Spider-Man or if you buy Spider-Man as a member, you're going to get 10% off the game. And you'll still have to buy it full retail price. But because you're a member, here's another perk you'll get, which is savings off titles, which is their PlayStation membership deals that they offer. They do anyways. That gets more people in the ecosystem to go, well, if I buy 3 games a year from Sony, I'm basically going to I might get 1 free or 150% off or something like that. You know, people will start doing the math, but Sony will, like Microsoft, will only care about, we need people in the ecosystem. We need people to subscribe, and that's it.
Like I said, competition breeds innovation. That'll just make Microsoft have to. It's going to be good in the long run is better for gamers. Let's be honest here. Maybe it won't be the greatest for developers. Who knows? Developers seem to like Game Pass, but I don't have all the background numbers. But all it will be is it'll be better for us. We're going to get more games to our service. That's what's going to happen. It's not going to be what console. The conversation in the future isn't going to be like, hey, what console is it on? It's going to be like, what service is it dropping on? PlayStation Plus, or on Game Pass Ultimate?
Let us know in the comments below. What do you guys think about the new Spoticus service coming from Sony in the spring? When we get more details about it, we'll talk about it because it'll affect Game Pass and those numbers too. Let us know in the comments below. Guys, if you are new to the channel, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell as well as we're working towards 1,000 subscribers. And we'll tune into tomorrow for more news. See ya.
See you next time.